Welcome to the Bible in 5 minutes. Today, we're going to look at the book of Numbers. Ever felt stuck in the same place, circling, waiting, wondering when things will finally move forward? Welcome to the book of Numbers, a powerful story of God's people wandering in the wilderness. And what happens when faith collides with fear? So let's dive into Numbers. Numbers picks up right after Leviticus. The Israelites have just finished their stay at Mount Sinai, where they received the 10 Commandments and many other laws. Now they're getting ready to head to the Promised Land, and we join them right here at the beginning of their journey. The book starts with a census, hence the name Numbers, but it's way more than a list of names. It's about trust, rebellion, leadership, and God's patience. As the people prepare to leave, God instructs Moses to count the men who are fit to go to war. Basically, the able-bodied men. This census would help them understand how many resources they needed for the journey. But it's also a picture of God's desire to know His people. He wants to see who is ready to fight for Him, who is spiritually strong and prepared for the battles ahead. This is not just a head count. It's an opportunity for the Israelites to demonstrate their commitment to God and His mission. It's like when Jesus asked His disciples, "Who do you say that I am?" It's a moment for identification, confession, and alignment with God's purpose. The book of Numbers doesn't just recount numbers. It explores the heart numbers, the spiritual condition of God's people. Throughout the book, we see moments of faith and doubt, obedience and rebellion, courage and fear. There are key moments in Numbers that shape the course of Israel's history. The 12 spies sent into Canaan return with grapes, figs, pomegranates, and a bad report. Only Joshua and Caleb believe God will help them possess the land. The people panic and disobey God. So God says, this generation won't enter the promised land. For 40 years, they wander in the wilderness. Even Moses, due to disobedience, won't enter the land. And yet throughout it, all God provides, protects, and remains faithful. He feeds them with manna and quail. He leads them with a pillar of cloud and fire. And He forgives them again and again. Despite their repeated failures, God's heart for His people never changes. He's patient, compassionate, and persistent in His love for them. So why does Numbers still matter today? Because we all face wilderness seasons, times when life feels slow, uncertain, or painful. Numbers teaches us some important lessons. First, God's promises still stand. Even when Israel doubted God's ability to deliver them from their enemies, He didn't break His word. God will fulfill His promises in our lives as well. Secondly, even in delays, God is working on our hearts. When Israel wandered for 40 years, it wasn't because God couldn't get them to the promised land faster. It was because He wanted to change their hearts. Similarly, there may be a purpose behind your delay. A spiritual growth or transformation that can only happen in the wilderness of your experience. Finally, faith over fear changes everything. When the people panicked and were afraid, they forgot God's power and His promises. But when they chose faith, they could have possessed the land. Our fear can sometimes cause us to miss out on God's blessings. Numbers reminds us that God isn't just trying to get you to a destination. He's transforming you on the journey. So, if you feel stuck right now, take heart, keep walking. Trust God. Your promised land may be closer than you think. Thanks for joining me today for the Book of Numbers. If this helped you, hit the like button. Leave a comment below. Share this with someone else who needs to hear this message. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Bible in 5 minutes. And until next time, remember, keep growing in the knowledge of God's Word.